Hey guys, welcome back to this week's episode of Flashback Friday. This week we're paying tribute to cartoon composer Guy Moon, and now we're going to continue on with the $100,000 pyramid for the Commodore 64. So let's do this, guys. Alright, here comes our first round. Okay, so our first round categories are At Ease, Matt Man, Get Through It, Up in Smoke, It Happens Slowly, and Be Effective. Let's start with Matt Man, please. Okay, things associated with a wrestler. Okay, let's move on to At Ease, please. Okay, things you sit on. Okay, we're going to move on to Get Through It. Here we go. Things that other things go through. Okay, so Up in Smoke, please. Okay, not the Mystery, not the 7-Eleven. So in this one, things associated with tobacco. Alright, got all 21 on that one. It's a 7-1 behind It Happened Suddenly. Yes, it is. Like all 7 words to get $1,100. And this one is Things That Strike. I give up. I don't know that one. The last one was Union. Alright, so let's move on to the $20,000 pyramid round. Alright, here's our first subject. So, things that are kicked, things that are by a cashier, things that are Spanish, where you find flowers, things that are shovel, things that are yeah, you know that one. Okay, so for this first round, for this first attempt, I was able to get $750. So I have another chance tonight on this next attempt. Alright, so this time we got Fuzzy Wuzzy, Chain Reaction, Like Sardines, Lily on the Field, Fresh Your Luck, and The Long and Short. Let's start with Fuzzy Wuzzy, please. Alright, things associated with a bear, that's Fuzzy Wuzzy. like all sitting around that one. Let's move on to pain reaction, please. Alright, things that hurt. Okay, so let's move on to like sardines, please. Okay, things packed or in a pack. Okay, so that means I have 17 points. So 5 more I get to play for the $25,000. Let's move on to pressure luck, please. Pressure luck, things that are printed. Alright, 20 for correct answers. The 7-1 behind Willie's on the field. What's in the other one? So let's move on to that one. The long and short. Things measured in inches. There we go. So we just won $1,100 in that one. And now we're going to have another shot at $25,000. If I lose this one, it's going to be game over, but let's see what happens. Alright, here's our first subject. Go. People music. Sings in a taxi. Sings in a stadium. Sings at a depot. Sings you can flip. Sings found in Washington. There it goes, guys. We just won $25,000. So that means we're going to have 3 chances to win $100,000. Let's go ahead and move on to our next game. Alright, so for this third round, we got Puff the Magic Dragon, Feet First, It's Good For You, A Word From Wise, Too Close for Comfort, and finally, Queued Up. Let's start with Puff the Magic Dragon, please. And there's the 7-Eleven. Let's see if we can add another $1,100 for a total. It's things associated with powder. Okay, we're just going to move on. Okay, let's move on to Feet First, please. Okay, this one is things people step on. Alright, I lost some around that one. Let's move on to It's Good For You, please. Alright, here we go. Things associated with nutrition. Okay, so I'm 10 away from the winner's circle for a chance at $100,000. Let's move on to A Word From Wise, please. Alright, words that end with the letter Y. There we go. Alright, so let's move on to Too Close for Comfort, please. Okay, we're 3 away from our next attempt of the $100,000. This one is things that are uncomfortable. There we go. We got 22 correct answers. Alright, we made it to the $100,000 pyramid round. Three chances. This is my first of 3 chances. Here's our first subject for $100,000. Let's go. regular camera, things on your head, things on screws, things with a mirror, things that are wild, and finally, things that sag. Alright. Alright, so guys, so for this game, we want a grand total of $126,850. Alright, so guys, we're going to move on to our final segment of the week. When we come back, we're going to play Super Password for a Commodore 64. We'll be right back, everybody.